Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my Zero Carb Life. I am really excited today to share another story that I know a little bit about, but we're about to find out so much more. I'm excited to have you here today, Betsy McLaughlin. Good to see you.
Good to see you, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So let's just dive right in. What on earth possessed you to just start eating only meat? How did you get to this point?
Oh gosh. I have struggled with my weight basically most of my life. And I was put on my first diet, liquid diet, when I was 10 years old. My mom, yeah,
Oh, my
my
word.
mom put me, and I look back at that time and it's like I was a typical adolescent, maybe a little chubby, not really. I still remember it was this big white bottle that was on the counter and it was this orange, disgusting tasting stuff. And I had to, put it in a spoon and drink it and gagging on it. And so that was where I first really started to like, oh, there's something wrong with my body and I need to diet and all of those things. So it's been a lifetime of dieting, not dieting, dieting, not dieting, deprivation. I used to be a competitive tennis player. And so even when I was working out all the time and lifting weights and competing, I still had, it was like, gosh, even with all of that, I was still right around 200 pounds and, a lot of muscle and, great shape. And there was always kind of this underlying, like, what is wrong with my body? Why can't I be like all the other competitors? And so after I got really sick at one point and stopped working out and stopped with that piece, and weight started to climb up more, depression, the things, and then of course the depression and not feeling well combined with my comfort, which were carbs.
Yeah.
That was my right.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking to the choir.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they call
Sure.
it comfort food for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And so the weight started coming on and different health things, especially once I had my son, it seemed like my metabolism changed even more. And the weight really ballooned. And I got up to 500 pounds. And at that point, you're like, it's hopeless. You're trying to navigate in a world that is not really built for larger people. So I would go on and off diets, trying to solve this problem and fix myself. And I had therapy. At one point, I actually went and had what's called a Roux-en-Y surgery, where it's a form of removing part of your stomach
Okay.
that's supposed to, like help with your appetite, because what I bought as what was wrong with me was I just didn't have willpower. Any doctor would tell me, well, you just need to stop eating. And I even at one point I was on a liquid diet for 30 days
Okay.
and it was 500 calories a day.
Oh, oh, Betsy, 500 calories per day of liquid. That's all you were allowed.
That was it.
And you were able to stick to it for about a month.
I was. And I actually begged them to please let me stay on it. And so
Oh,
it's, medically supervised fast. So they let me do it for another month. And I dropped, like a lot of weight.
okay.
And I was terrified to go back to eating. And I was like,
Yeah.
please don't make me. And they said, we can't, you have to start eating again.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the weight came back on.
Oh,
Yeah. And after that, it was like, okay, like I'm defective. So then I had the surgery, which was, really, really tough and difficult to recover from. And I did drop more weight. So I got I was at about 300 pounds.
Okay.
And I couldn't get lower than that. And even with all of the restrictive eating that I was doing, and when you first have that kind of surgery, like you eat this much food
Yeah.
and you're full. I mean, it's,
You are telling a story that I have heard so many times, which is eat less, eat
wow.
less, eat less. And then
Yeah.
we're going to medically alter you so you have to
Yes.
eat less. And
Yeah.
then, folks can lose weight initially and then they get stuck. And like,
Yeah.
I can't eat less than this, like
Yeah.
now what? And the same thing
Right.
sometimes happens to people who overfast or
Yes.
folks who, whatever it is, if you're not giving your body what it needs and it's not responding with the way that doctors or anybody would expect it to, then the feeling that just breaks my heart is, well, where can I go from there? I
Right.
can't eat less than that and stay alive. I'm sure energy was probably quite a struggle during those days, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, so that was like, well, all right, let's look at it this way. I don't weigh 500 pounds anymore.
Right?
So, like be grateful that you have lost 200 pounds. And okay, I guess this is just my lot in life. I had that kind of point of view for quite a while. I was at a point where my body was not feeling well, and I was in a lot of pain, really stiff, no energy. And I was like, I gotta do something different. And so I started cutting out the carbohydrates about, I'd say, I don't know, a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I got again to the point where my body was screaming at me. And I was very good at like overriding what my body was telling me. I was getting all these symptoms and signals, and I was just like, nope, nope, nope. This time I was like, I was in such pain and stiff. And I was like, oh God, if I don't do something, I'm going to end up in a wheelchair.
Oh,
I'm going to end up like, I just knew I was finally really listening to my body. Like,
okay.
okay, you have my attention. I'm sorry that you've had to hit me over the head with a 2x4 and do it harder and harder because I've been stubborn. All right, what do we do here? I was like, all right, body, I'm going to let you be in charge. And very clearly, I heard, cut out the carbs. And I'm like, no. But it was like, okay. Like that 2-year-old in you is like, no, you want to stomp your feet and throw yourself on the ground and have a fit. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you can continue doing that, or you could try something different. So in the trying something different, I was like, all right. And I just cold turkey, no carbs. Like, of course, you don't feel really good when you go from one extreme to the other.
Shoot, no.
But I,
No, not at first. You think, what have I done? And then you
yeah,
feel bad and you think, oh, I just want to feel better and comfort myself. Oh, I can't even have my comfort now. Wah. Yeah, I know.
bingo.
Yes.
Totally. I was like, all right, well, no, wait, body, I made you a promise. We're going to keep this promise. And I know that we are just detoxing all the toxins and the crap and everything is
Yes.
coming out. So whatever needs to happen, I'm here. I'm going to keep going. As I increase like the fat that you need to offset, like that really is what will satiate you.
Yes.
I was like, I found I wasn't hungry. Like that carb monster started to get quieter, like the feed me, feed me, feed me, I need food now, got quieter and quieter. And I
That's,
was really paying attention. And for the first time, I was making notes of like every day, like what were my symptoms? What was going on with my body? What was good? What was like, oh, I should really probably pay attention to this. Like all of those things for the first time, I really paid attention instead of getting mad at my body. And somewhere along the line, I don't remember exactly when, I stumbled across Dr. Barry, Dr. Ken
Yeah.
Barry, and started watching his YouTube. And I was like, wow, this is this is missing information. That is so, no doctor ever told me any of this stuff. He talked about keto and then also about carnivore. And
Yeah.
I'm like, huh, well, I'm pretty much only eating meat anyhow. And for me, vegetables, like they just do not agree with my body. I realized that. And anytime I was eating it, it was going straight through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, body, again, what are you showing me? And it was like, this is all the opposite of what all the experts have told me my whole life.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, I like meat. I like seafood. So I'll just try it and see what happens. I found you and I was doing your monthly coaching. It just melted off my body. That I was like, what is going on? My body responded. And I finally, really, I'm getting chills telling you this
Ah,
story.
I know, right? That's so cool.
Yeah. And like the 150 pounds, like just melted off of me. I was like, because at that point, I was like, I am not even going to have a goal weight.
Right.
I, because again, well, I was like, I want to get to 200 pounds. And, force, force, force. This time is like, body, whatever size you want to be, I just want to feel better. I don't want that debilitating pain where I can barely walk and I'm so stiff and I can't even go down the stairs of my house. I know, just walking was just like, it's like, okay, no. And I, at one point I had said right before this, like, I feel like my 90-year-old mother. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, no, that's changing.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. Right. So with that, when it all just melted off and my body, the composition of my body I'm smaller than I was in high school
Oh,
and my body shape is different. And it's like, how does that happen? Like,
awesome.
so that's my not very short story, but it's like this amazingness that I'm so grateful for.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. So at around age 60, you
Yeah.
realize I feel more like I'm 90. At around
Yes.
age 60, you realize your entire life, at 50 years, starting with diets at about age 10. So
Yeah.
for the last 50 years, it's just
Yes.
been eat less, take out part of your body, liquid this, starve that, and then binge because hunger will eventually always win, and just feeling worse and worse. And then at around age 60, you finally got to just feel like my body works now. It does what it's supposed to do. It's hungry when it needs food. I'm satisfied for hours when it doesn't need food.
Yes.
And and a lot of the pain is now better.
Oh, it's gone. I like with
Oh,
and that was the one of the miracles. Within 3 days, gone. I was like, how does this happen? Yeah. So, and of course, doctors had wanted to put me on all kinds of medications.
yeah,
And I was like, I don't want to be on medications for all of these things. Like, no.
yeah.
My blood pressure is normal. It's actually below normal.
Oh,
And it was high. I was getting symptoms of I think I'm pre-diabetic,
oh,
like and all of that, like that blood work is all normal, or like they look at me and go, what do you mean you're not on any prescriptions? Like whenever you go to the doctor, they're like, okay, what medication are you taking? I'm like,
yeah,
none. And many doctors, their first thing is let me give you a pill.
yeah.
And it's instead of looking at, okay, what are you putting in your mouth?
I was very fortunate to find one of those doctors who he had read a book about the Inuit people and knew that a diet of purely fatty meat was safe. And not only safe, but very effective for somebody who was struggling like I was, like you were.
Amazing.
And that was 21, it'll be 21 years ago next month.
That's amazing. You are so
Uh,
fortunate.
I really am. I'm also so sad for the 20-year Betsy who had 20 years.
I
That,
know.
yeah, where somebody out here knew it, but
Yeah.
you didn't. So I'm
Yes.
guessing it made you even quicker to say, yes, I'll share when I asked because you
Mhm.
were outside of the lifeboat, floundering, drowning,
Right.
hurting, struggling to go up and down stairs. So you just want other people to know about it. And I am grateful. And I bet somebody else watching right
Thank
now
you.
is going to be grateful too to finally hear, hey,
Yeah.
it's not just that you're an overeater, a glutton, an underexerciser. It's not just that you have no
Yeah.
willpower. I don't have any willpower. I don't. I
Yeah.
can be very committed to something. That's true.
Hmm.
But when it
Yes.
comes to those cravings, I can almost guarantee I wouldn't have willpower now either.
It's fascinating in one respect that that can be such a thing. I don't miss it anymore. Like I
Right.
did for a while,
Yep.
right? And I'm sure you did too.
Yeah.
And now I can be around it. I can bake for my husband. It's like it doesn't bother me. I know what would happen if I started eating any of those too. I would be so ill. I know
Right.
that,
Yes.
you know,
Then we would
easily.
need the willpower, right?
Yeah.
When people go
Yes.
back, so we did have to have some serious willpower for the first couple of weeks. Let's give
Oh,
ourselves
for
some
sure.
credit for that. I
For
think it,
sure.
I think that came from serious desperation for both of us.
Yes.
Desperate.
Yes.
I think we were given some hope that maybe there was another way out. I think we were pretty much out of other options and knew that it had become like this is life or death. We have to make
Yeah.
a change. So we fought,
Yeah.
tooth and nail through it for a while. And then it's like, wait a second. I'm not even having to try anymore.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
that's the coolest part.
It is. And the obsession is gone. You
Yeah.
know, I used to sometimes plan out like, okay, well, while I'm out, I'm going to get this and I'll eat it before I get home. And, you know, I was a closet eater. I hid the stuff, all of that. And that's all gone. And
Amazing.
it's just, it's freeing. It's no longer an obsession of any kind.
Right.
You
So
know,
what are your
I'm
favorite
so,
meats? What do you mostly
oh,
eat?
I love steak. Like,
Yeah.
I, my body really loves steak too. There's something in all the vitamins and nutrients that when I eat it, it's like, oh, my body says, oh, thank you. And chicken and um, red meats and a little bit of pork. Again, it's not, it doesn't taste as good.
So
Yeah.
mostly beef, but you do fine with
Yeah.
chicken, pork, but
Yes.
you don't really love it. And that's
Yeah.
that's what you eat.
Yeah.
You-
You know, and then a lot of eggs,
Oh,
omelets and things like that. I love. So, yeah.
dairy?
And that,
Can you do
yes,
dairy?
yes. I can do dairy. So I do eat cheese, sour cream, you know, all of the things to get the fat that you need, you know, the heavy whipping cream and things like that. So,
Yes.
you know, and then when I have it, I was like, oh, I think I need to throw some more fat in, you know, when you're feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm tired. It's like, oh, or do I just need to eat? Like, because you don't always get the hunger signals,
Right.
right? So like, okay, what does my body require? So it's been just this beautiful rediscovering of a connection with my body and listening to her and not overriding her or being so controlling or be like,
Yeah.
no, it's a partnership now. And that's
Oh,
been a beautiful, beautiful thing.
oh, that's so, what a beautiful description. I like that. It sounds like there were times, well, clearly after you had your surgery, you were eating very little and on liquid
Oh, yeah.
diets, 500
Yeah.
calories per day. I assume
Yeah.
you're eating more than you were. then
Oh, yes.
more
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And through different trackers, like, because one time I was curious, I was like, okay, I'm not going to get obsessive about
Yeah.
this because I can do that. And it was like, but I was curious. So it was like, I wonder how many calories I am having in a day. And I wonder how much fat, am I getting enough fat?
Right.
And so when I was doing that, I was like, oh, that's really cool. So since I kind of eat pretty much the same types of things, I have that awareness of, that I am giving my body enough.
Right. Once you're in a pattern, and then you
Yes.
go ahead and put that pattern into an app to just confirm, okay, should this
Yes.
be adequate food for someone of my age, size, and activity level? And am I
Yes.
keeping my fat in what I would consider just a happy carnivore range? So most meats fall between
Mhm.
60 and 80%. If someone was eating nothing but chicken and fish or nothing but
Yeah.
a lot of butter and heavy cream, then obviously you would either be
Right.
perhaps really low on fat or really low on protein. But if you
Right.
keep it between 60 and 80 and you're eating an adequate amount of food, that
Hmm.
that is a really safe place for most people to be. So I'm glad that
Yes.
you went back just to confirm. I had
Yes.
somebody who went and put in their typical days of eating, and very often people will come back and say that it was less than 800 calories per day.
Mm.
And that's when, and then I'll say, well, I mean, how are you feeling? If they say, gosh, well,
Right.
I'm a tiny person and I'm not active and I'm feeling great, I'm like, all right, well, let's just be on the lookout for signs of under eating, like thyroid function and poor sleep, like
Yeah.
no energy and no libido. There are things to be on the lookout for. Sometimes it doesn't show up as a growly stomach, it's more like a dull headache, you know?
Yes.
So being on the lookout
Yes.
for that. But most people who are eating that little will say, oh, well, I'm having all of those symptoms, but I'm not hungry. Like, well, let's just start
Yes.
slowly increasing. And many times, not only will they feel better, but a lot of times that really stuck stall will suddenly
Hmm.
unstick because,
Yes.
yeah,
And again, that's like the opposite of what we've been told, right? Like,
yeah,
wait a minute, eat more and you're going to lose weight. They're like, yeah, because your body doesn't feel like, I don't know when I'm getting my next meal. I better hold on to everything, right?
it's exactly right. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably exactly what, in the non scientific version, right? What was happening to
Yes.
you on a 500 calorie per day diet. Now, granted, you lost
Yes.
weight, and people say, well, if you go in a severe deficit, you will lose weight. Yes, you will,
Yes. Yes.
until your body adapts to that. And
Yes.
that's when it is stopped. And then you
Yep.
can't eat less. So at that point, somebody could have said to you, hey, we've got to get you out of this deficit for a while, let your body recover. And the best way to get out of that deficit is with foods that aren't going to override your satiety signals, that aren't going to spike your glucose, that aren't going to bloat your belly with all this fiber. How about we do it
Yes.
with some fat and protein? And then that's what you've done. You've come out of that crazy deficit, and now
Yes.
you're you've just continued to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other wonderful thing, for the first time ever, I have not gained the weight back. Like, it's like, wow, I am the same size. And, like, I've gotten rid of all the wardrobe that was from size 18 to 34. Like,
Wow.
all of those clothes are out, and I'm still like wrapping my head around. Like, I ordered a size medium dress and I
Oh,
got it and held it up, and it's like, to me, it's like this big.
yes.
Like, no way will this fit. And, it fits. Like,
Awesome.
oh, right. So it's like, it's fun to just be a size I never ever thought I would be.
I'm
So,
just thinking right now, I feel like I have lived two different lives myself because, I was
yeah.
very heavy and felt very sick and I was so addicted to
Yes.
sugar, sugar, sugar. And now I'm just immune to it. I can't even imagine how it feels for you because even more extreme, you were stuck in a body that would become almost unworkable, unmanageable.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And now you're
Yeah.
just free
And
to move, to eat, to feel good. It's like they let you out of your cage.
I did. I let myself out of
Oh,
my cage, self-imposed cage. That's a really good way to put it. And, like I yesterday did like 5 hours in a row of physical exercise around the house, clean, like doing heavy duty cleaning, scrubbing, moving things. And I was like, wow, look at that. I could never have even fathomed doing
oh,
that 3 years ago, be like, yeah, good luck. I better, maybe I could do one thing,
yeah.
and so it's just like the energy and the strength, and it keeps getting better and better and better. Right. So
Yes.
talk about reverse aging. I still ask myself, am I listening? Am I
Mm,
listening to my body?
yeah.
Body, you just keep telling me.
Right. Once we get the addictive stuff out of our system, then we
Yes.
can listen. Before it was just screaming all the time, donuts, like it was
Yes.
screaming for things I really didn't need because that was addiction. Once we get
Yes.
those voices out, it's like, oh, now, and I didn't even used to really like the taste of meat. I mean,
Mm.
I would eat things with meat in it, like a burger,
Yeah.
fries, and a soda. The burger
Right.
is not what I was in it for, not the patty. I would have, the patty didn't matter to me at all. But then once I got the junk out, then I discovered, oh, meat
Yes.
tastes so good now. Now I love
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that interesting? So,
Yeah. So that's what made me, when you said taste can change, boy, can they. I mean, meat
mhm.
used to have to be drowned in A1 sauce or Heinz
Yeah.
57 for me just to get it down. Well,
Yeah.
I'd come after somebody if they poured that mess on my meat now. Hey, back off, man.
What's great is there are so many more people that are embracing, the lower carb lifestyle, whether it's, keto or carnivore, or I know there's other things out there. So there's a lot of great recipes now, things you can do
Yes.
with cottage cheese and heavy whipping cream and sour cream and
Yes.
things like that, where to give you the fat content that your body does require. I know when I don't get enough, what my body shows me.
Oh, me too. I am currently in my very high fat era, and it's been going on for the last at least couple years where
Nice.
my body just really thrives on high fat. I've gone through some leaner phases for sure. There were times where skinless chicken thighs and salmon, that's just what I wanted day after day. And those periods tended to be shorter. For the most part, about 70% calories from fat because I ate burger patties almost always. And now, if I'm eating burger patties, they're going to need some fat on there because it's
Yes.
just what my body really wants. And now we have entire cookbooks out there with both
Yes.
lean and high fat, but all carnivore. We've got Jenny Middich has one coming out, pre-order right now. Courtney
Nice.
Luna,
Yes.
her cookbook is
Yes.
so beautiful.
It
Yeah,
is.
Emmerich has carnivore cookbooks that have been out for quite some time. And of course,
Mhm.
tons of YouTube videos out there and channels. So
Yes.
we're not suffering, are we?
Not at all. Not at all. And I'm
You,
so grateful for all of those people.
me too. And you have suffered. So I hope anybody listening right now, where maybe you're still there, they're suffering right now. And they
Yeah.
think, oh, well, I couldn't give up this, that. Yes, you could. Right? You could also give up those medications. You could give up being 500 pounds. You could give
Mhm.
up hurting as you go down steps and feeling trapped in your body with constant food noise. You could give up liquid diets and surgical procedures. Then, if you gave up all that, then surely you could take the bread out with it. I
Yes.
mean, sure. Let the
Yes.
bread go too if it came with leaving all those other things behind. I don't know about you, but I used to like bread, Betsy.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
Right. We're
That
not
was one of my go-tos.
this. Neither one of us got overweight because we didn't like bread. We liked it. We liked it. But we just now know that we have to choose. It was hard to
Yeah.
give up bread. It was also hard living in our old bodies. So
Yes.
choose your hard.
Yes.
And we've both chosen the hard, which has now become easy and tasty.
Easy.
And now we have a community and we can meet with each other online and talk about it and have friends and celebrate. We've got t-shirts, baby. Like, if this is the hard that we chose, we're going to make it as easy as possible. I'm just glad you're here to share that message. And I'm thrilled for you, Betsy. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much. And, it helps me to actually talk about it because, this is a story you don't talk about very much.
Mm.
And, there's so much shame in my world and guilt. And I realize that I am not broken and I am not defective.
Right.
And there's a lot of broken and defective out there in what's being messaged to people.
So there are things that are broken. I feel like our medical system has a lot of issues. Our food chain has a lot of issues.
Yes.
The food industry of trying to make foods as addictive as possible has issues.
Yes.
That is broken and defective. You weren't. You
Yes.
weren't. But the blame was being put on you for being broken and defective. And I think when people realize, it's not me. I had that realization at one point. It wasn't me the whole time. It was what I was eating and what I was being taught and told.
Yes.
No fat, avoid all fat, avoid,
Yes.
right? Don't overeat, run, run, run. And I kept thinking, I'm doing everything y'all are saying to do, and it's not working. And I felt broken.
Yes. Let's just get the message out there.
Yes, absolutely. Can you imagine if you hadn't figured it out the rest of your life, the rest of my life, just spent on that old trajectory, how much we would have missed out on?
Totally.
That's heartbreaking to me because there are people who are still out there missing out. Yeah.
Well, and that's one of my messages too, is like, it's never too late. Never, ever too late.
Yeah.
When you asked me to come on, I'm like, yes, let's talk about this and not keep it secret and private.
I appreciate your time today, Betsy. If anybody would like to comment to Betsy, have you ever felt broken, defective? Have you ever struggled? Or have you broken free? We'd love to hear your stories. I will come back and read them. So thank you, everybody.
Yes,
I'll see you soon.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. You really did have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Incredible.